Hi everyone, I am Sailor Solitaire. Welcome to your mid-July 2017 tarot reading. This is really exciting stuff. This is the mid-month of the mid-year. And I hope that you're all doing well. We did just have a full moon in Capricorn. And I feel like that was really good energy for a lot of signs. For me personally, I have my moon in Capricorn in the 6th house. So it was a bit, cathartic, to say the least. And now I do feel like, things are looking a lot more positive, a lot brighter. So hopefully you guys are riding that same wave as well. If not, stay tuned. We'll see what the rest of this month has in store for you guys. So don't worry. And if you haven't already watched your July 2017 tarot reading, don't forget to watch that. I will link it at the end of this video as well as in the description box below. As always, I hope you guys enjoy this reading. I hope you find value in it. And let's get started. Alright, Pisces, let's get to your reading. I feel like you guys are coming into a place where you've gotten something off your chest and you've let your voice be heard. And I don't even know if I'm making sense right now, but you guys really kind of spoke your piece. You guys just, you said what you had to say and you feel better for it. You put that out into the world and, you're just letting it go. You're releasing that, your intentions, which is, I feel like, really healthy for you guys. And I feel like you guys can rest a little bit easier now because of it. Sleep a little bit better. But of course, I want to see what the cards have to say for you guys. So the first card giving an overall indication of the energies that you'll be experiencing or that will be around you this month or for the rest of the month, possibly into August as well. We have Judgment in reverse. Okay, so this card has been coming up for a while. I don't know what it is about this time of year, but a lot of karmic cycles are wrapping up. A lot of major decisions, a lot of deadlines are kind of coming up around this time. I feel like with this Judgment card in reverse, this is kind of like the opposite of what I was saying, to be honest, a little bit, because this Judgment card is, when it's in reverse, it's more of a warning card, saying that that there's something that you're not being 100% honest about. So while you may have said your piece, maybe you left something out, or maybe it was just kind of scratching at the surface and there's something deeper down that you possibly don't want to address, something that you don't want to deal with. So I do feel like, on one hand, you said something that was, or you've confronted an issue, you've, made a decision or made an action of some sort that was very hard for you to do, very difficult, and it's brought you closer to, speaking your truth. But at the same time, was it a step in the right direction, or are you still circling around? Because with this Judgment card in reverse, this is like a very karmic card, in my opinion. And to me, this is like a lesson that you guys are kind of refusing to learn. You guys are kind of avoiding learning it. Maybe a bit difficult for you. You Pisces are emotional. You guys are water signs, so you guys can be really intense with your feelings, and it may be hard for you guys to, actually confront them head on. And so I just want to, this doesn't obviously apply for all of you, but for those of you who this does apply to, and you're resonating with it right now, you want to make sure that you're not just taking any chances with your emotions, you're not playing it too safe, and you're not, being careless and reckless with your emotions and with what you're feeling, what your gut is telling you. You don't want to just keep brushing that aside and, telling the little voice in your head to be quiet, because you know, those little things add up, and you may be risking more than you care to admit, and you may not be realizing that, you know, what you're doing or what you're refusing to see or to discuss or what you're refusing to acknowledge is something that you really just can't ignore. It's something that you can't just keep brushing away and pushing aside. It's something that is going to spring back up and rear its ugly head. And, you know, with this Judgment card, it's like everything will, well, the truth will eventually at some point or another the truth will be revealed. And so do you want to come out when you know, when the dust is, when all the smoke is cleared, do you want to come out looking like the good guy, or do you want to, you know, or do you want to be, or sorry, do you want to come out looking like the bad guy, or do you want to be, you know, right there with, you know, I feel like this could be a relationship partner. Do you want to be there for your partner, and, or at least, you know, do you want to be there, you know, still maintaining their trust and not having them look at you like, wow, you just didn't trust me enough to tell me about this, or you didn't trust me enough to be honest with me, or whatever the situation is. I feel like you guys definitely need to make some, you know, confront this issue head on, because it will just come back stronger. It's almost like, if I want to compare something, obviously not exactly, but it's like you guys are, like, you realize that, like, someone's pregnant or something, and it's like, well, I don't really need to take any action. You just kind of avoid it, but then 9 months later, obviously, a baby comes out. It's like, well, you know, you can't really ignore it now because it's there. And whether you like it or not, it is there, and so you have to deal with that. Okay, so the next card is something that you guys should take note of, something that you guys want to be aware of that you may be missing. And we have Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, so I do feel like there was some sort of shadiness, some sort of like social or intimate situation, some sort of weird dynamic that you guys are coming out of where it's somebody hurt somebody, definitely. There's some sort of like accusations being thrown around, name being dragged through the mud, and definitely, you know, just he said, she said kind of conflict going on. But I do feel like this is kind of coming to an end. And in this position, this Five of Swords in reverse, I feel like it's like the hero, or it's like, you know, at the end of the movie, where it's like, oh, plot twist, the good guy turned out to be the bad guy, and vice versa. That's what's kind of happening. So it's like, I'm not saying that you guys are the bad guy. Definitely in no way am I saying that. But I do feel like, you know, if you were sort of blaming somebody else, you know, you're going to come to the realization that, you know, okay, maybe it wasn't 100% their fault. Or if you were looking at somebody in your life, someone close to you, I feel like, but this could very well be a family member as well, and you've been defending them all this time, and there may be a conflict between two other people, and like maybe a mother or father, and you've been defending, let's say, one of the parents, saying, you know, and you've been telling the other one, you know, don't talk about this person in that way, like, you're horrible, you're a monster, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you got it backwards the whole time. So I feel like this is like you, I guess, relying too heavily on your emotions. I feel like you guys are just going with what your heart tells you and letting yourself get swayed. And this card is saying, you know, look at things, because with the swords, this is air energy, this is objectivity, you know, this is unbiased, kind of even heartless opinions. And in this position, I feel like you guys need to take on more of a logical approach, in that sense, where you want to remove your emotions a little bit out of it and really understand the situation, if you're going to, you know, be put in that situation where you kind of have to make a judgment call between, you know, to see who's right and who's wrong. Because I do feel like things are not what they seem with this card, and you can't just take things at face value. You can't just take things superficially. So if you want to, you know, defend somebody or make some decisions regarding the situation, you want to make sure that you have all your facts straight. Otherwise, you know, you could just, again, make yourself out to be less informed and ignorant when you were just going with, you know, how you felt. You were being easily manipulated, I guess. And I feel like someone may be exploiting your weaknesses a little bit in order to have you on their side, or to, you know, make themselves feel better. So just be careful with that. Let's see what your general advice card is. I hope it's, you know, something more positive. We have the Star in reverse. Okay. So when the Star shows up in reverse, I do feel like this is, well, first of all, this is another major arcana card. We have Judgment and the Star card here, both showing up reversed. And these are pretty intense energy. So they maybe this energy may be something that just kind of comes and hits you, and it's hard to shake. It's hard to, you know, deal with on your own. It's hard to, again, push down, and it's hard to avoid. And this is something that, you know, whether you like it or not, you're just going to have to deal with. And, you know, it's up to you. Do you want to deal with it in a healthy way, or do you want to just try to slide by and, you know, and go down? Do you want to embrace the change of what's going on, or do you want to just, you know, kick and scream and make it harder for everyone, harder for yourself? With this Star card, let's see, this is 17, 1 plus 8. So to me, this is a card of, again, a lot of karmic energy going on, a lot of stuff that, you know, if you believe in past lives, could be you know, accumulating from past lives, a lot of lessons that your soul needs to learn. But if you don't believe in past lives, you know, this Star, there's definitely still a lot of ties that you have with the universe that you need to own up to, that you may be avoiding because it's not, you know, so obvious, it's not concrete. This is really kind of subtle energies around you. And with the Star card in reverse, I feel like for some of you, you're feeling a bit and I know that in the past reading, you guys, maybe a few months ago, you got a card, or your reading highly indicated that you guys felt like you were just on a path that you couldn't get out of, and it was like you guys already, you know, had your path set in you. So it may be good to take a second to actually, you know, change the way that you view the situation, just to give yourself a little bit more hope, a little more optimism, so that when it is a more fortuitous time for you to actually go out and make those decisions, make those changes, you know, you'll actually have the motivation to do so. Okay, so the next card for you guys, your outcome card, is Temperance in reverse. So another major arcana card. Okay, I do feel like you guys are feeling literally upside down, because all these cards are in the reverse position here. And aside from this one, these are not necessarily cards that you want to be appearing reversed. I do feel like we have these two cards here, which are symbols of like hope and, you know, taking your time, finding that sweet spot, that balance, and you guys are flowing harmoniously. These two cards are in reverse, so it's kind of like the opposite of that. Basically, you guys are kind of feeling out of control. You guys are feeling like you kind of lost the point of what you're doing, and you Pisces are very like unsure of your abilities, unsure of where you are in life right now. And hopefully this is not for all of you Pisces, but for some of you, you guys are really just like, you feel stuck. And I don't know what it is. I feel like, you know, this has hit you in the past couple of months, and I feel like you guys are making progress, and now it's kind of like you guys are taking a few steps back. But I do feel like you can still turn around. Like I said, I do feel like the cards are kind of against you right now, just for this time being, in a sense that you guys will feel a bit down. You guys will feel like you guys are, you know, in in between a rock and a hard place. But with this card, as general advice, it's telling you to take advantage of what you do have instead of looking at what you don't have. Just really make what is working for you really work for you, and make things that maybe you probably don't think are working for you and turn it around so that it does work for you. You know what I mean? Optimize things that are around you, reinvent things. I do feel like you have to get creative this month, and you have to really find ways to get yourself to keep going. But hopefully, next month we have a better spread here, a better play, a better interaction between all these energies that you have. It is going to be heavy, I feel like, but at the same time, this is where it is critical for you to start using your head, and to really make sure that you're not being overwhelmed and drowned by all these emotions. You want to put a positive spin on things, and it's really going to test your self motivation, your self-sufficiency, and it's going to really make you appreciate what you have now even more. So thank you very, very much for watching. I'm going to keep this short. And I just want to say thank you so much to all the people who have been watching me, commenting. I love hearing from you guys. Some of you have been here since the very beginning, and this is great. This is really exciting. I hope that you guys continue to find value in my readings, and that you are inspired, you get some insight from this, and that your lives are ultimately a little bit better and brighter because of it. So again, if you haven't watched your July 2017 tarot reading, watch that. And of course, if you haven't watched your other signs readings as well, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever sign you identify with, please check that out as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Stay beautiful. I wish you so much love, peace, strength, and joy, courage to be who you are and to be unapologetically who you are. And I love you guys so much. Thank you.